But I know
Yeah.
that the way these labels work, they a lot of times I think these labels see who the talent is in the group and they try to isolate it. You
Well,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
the
Try to,
usual. That's the
man,
norm.
I mean, it's the Michael Jackson shit. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So like, I would believe that once they were able to separate CeeLo from the Goody Mob and kind of like let him flourish and do his thing, then because they knew he was more marketable for that because of what happened with Danger Mouse and doing the crazy song and blah blah blah. They started seeing that okay, this guy right here actually can be a moneymaker. What these other three dudes doing? And they go listen back to what the other three dudes put out. It's still kind of like grassroots for the streets type shit. And they're like, yeah, we can't do nothing with that. Let's move on. Same thing with Def Jam separating Jay Z from Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? They offer him a deal he couldn't fucking refuse, bro. He a businessman too. So it's like, hey, ho, we see you rocking with these niggas over there, but what these niggas really doing for you? You know what I mean?
We can give you that, but with this much attached to it, and we'll go back later and get that other thing that you want.
And I never heard Andre 3000 say it, and I'm pretty sure he's seen it. But I think Andre 3000 walked away the same way Dave Chappelle walked away from his show. He saw what they was trying to get him to do with Big Boy, and he decided to take the high road and say, you know what, I'm just gonna chill and play my flute
Was it that?
because that's my speculation because dude did he had one of the biggest singles for years with what's the name? Hey y'all.
Hey ya,
And that was a
hey
song that was written.
ya.
That song was written for CeeLo. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But
So it was like,
okay,
and
so
that whole
even if
album,
he
that whole
did,
half of the album was like so crazy that it went pop. You know,
I don't know, man. Like the dude was still. I don't know. I'm not gonna even say nothing because Dungeon Family and all that. That was just a bad group of motherfuckers. Like they could all they was all and like
that was an anomaly.
yeah, like them motherfuckers just cold blooded, bro.
It was an
They was cold
anomaly,
blooded.
bro. Because even Big Boy was still able to do what he needed to do when Dre wasn't a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like him doing the Sleepy Brown album. He did one with Sleepy Brown. What was it called? The Sleepover, the Big Sleepover,
I don't
and that shit
know, but
hard.
I have one of those albums with the song "Till Your Legs Start Shaking." Like that
Hmm.
song is on there. It's another song on there that I like, but I do have that album. I bought that album years ago.
Big Boy is a self-contained entity in that way, man. Dude is just dope. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like these nowadays, we don't live the last bit, the last main group in hip hop just lost its member. Yeah, I don't think we'll see groups in hip hop like that again
Nah, it'll
because
be a
record
while.
labels it's easier to keep people separated and focus on the individual. When you got three people that you got to negotiate with to get this deal done, it's a headache. When you got
Yeah,
four people in this situation to negotiate with to get this deal done, you already got to negotiate with the motherfucking manager and whoever else is a part of this artist's life. But when there's a group, and you know what I'm saying, it's a headache, and that's why labels kind of like they lean
yeah.
into like
And you talking about dividing up money and all this shit, like how the money gonna get divided up and everything. That shit's
when it's a
crazy.
solo artist, it's different. Shit, better yet, let this solo art. Let's get this solo artist a writing pool from our selection, so the money comes back to us anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's a nasty game, bro.
Early on, who was one of the best lyricists you ever heard when you started
When I
listening to hip
when
hop?
I really started listening and started listening to bars,
Yeah.
it was for me. It was between it was a three-way tie. Actually, it was a four-way tie because the first time I actually listened to some bars, it was like blown away was when I heard the symphony for the first time, and it was Craig G, uh, Big Daddy Kane, Master Ace, and Cool G Rap. When I heard those four dudes spitting, I never heard nobody rap consistently at that level and keep it entertaining.
Mm.
And it was like really like getting off bars, and it kind of made me start listening even closer to what niggas are actually saying in raps. Because prior to that, it was real rudimentary, like. You know what I'm saying? That
Saw
cadence.
yesterday when I was outside on a porch. Yada 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 yada. Yeah.
And when
Mm-hmm.
they actually, you know what I'm saying, Rakim was naturally one of those, but he wasn't one. And like to me, like I like Rakim. I used to listen to him, but I wasn't like old enough to really appreciate what he was doing with his words at that time.
Me
So I was,
neither.
so I was like more or less listening to like it was to me if the flow was catchy and the wordplay was witty, I was in there. That's why Slick Rick was always like one of my faves back then too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because his ability to tell a coherent story in rap form. This nigga did a song about the story of Moses,
Mm.
and the shit is hard. On his second LP, before he right around the time he went to jail. That song to this day, I got a playlist. I got it on. I listen to it like that song is still hit.
That's
He
crazy,
told the
bro.
story of Moses, bro.
That's crazy.
He
You
did
gotta send
another.
me that.
Yeah, I send you the link.
You gotta send me the link, bro, so I can tap in and listen to that for myself.
Yeah, man. And that's kind of the thing that drew me into it because at the time I was really into like EPMD and I was really into EPMD because they had style and it was different. Like you know what I'm saying with Eric Sermon's speech impediment, he was still getting off bars. They had confidence. There was the rapper group. You know what I'm saying? There was the duo. There was like the consummate duo at the time. But when I really started like leaning in with my ear to it, Redman dropped, and I'm like, this nigga is probably he's the spitter of spitters, because
I,
that's when I started understanding like double entendres and
I love Red
personifications.
Man.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
love Red Man.
And by that time, I had already been writing. You know what I'm saying? I had already been writing and rapping and memorizing flows and trying to perfect my craft. And when he dropped What the album, because I think he had did the first time I saw him was on In Living Color. You know, he
Okay.
just had an artist at the end of the show or whatever. He did Time for Some Action, and I thought that beat was hard. So I went to the store, I just bought the cassette because you couldn't preview shit on the internet, and I was hooked on that album, bro. Nowadays, though, I don't listen to a lot of rap music in that way. Like if people are talking about it, I kind of shy away from it a little bit. I give it some time for people to stop talking about it. But
Yeah, I don't blame. I don't blame.
but for the most part, it's like that's all. I'm still on the discovery tip. If I just so happen to come across it, I'll give it a spin.
It's
Other
a
than that,
crazy thing, man.